Record. We are now recording the May 3rd, 2019 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Friday!
Yay!
Hello. Can I get one more of those because you missed a couple?
And so tomorrow is May the 4th be with you.
That's right. And Sunday is Cinco de Mayo.
Matthew's ready.
Party time.
Party time. We're going to start again with our funny videos from Dennis.
Okay, this first one, this woman is a inventor with robots, so I thought this would be kind of interesting.
Ooh, fun.
I used your I'm not a robot video in a tweet with you.
Oh, better move this over.
Lipstick robot.
Oh, lipstick
That's a riot.
Okay,
Hadn't even started yet.
yeah, let's see if I can.
You're good. It's on the screen.
Is it? Okay.
It was a minute ago.
Well, we're seeing the Small Business Advisor page on Facebook now.
Which is exactly where you will want to go in the future to be able to join these wonderful events.
Okay.
Dennis, go up to the top. There we go.
Okay, so let me,
I built a hammering machine that destroys everything. Is that first?
no, that's too long.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to look that up on our own.
We need some sound.
You're going to have to hit the back arrow on the browser real quick.
Oh yeah, up here. Well, I'm pointing to it like you can see me. Just back up.
Can't hear.
Okay.
I'd like to hammer.
There we go.
A little off target.
Okay, the next one
Oh my
is
gosh.
the next one is
Roll.
Oh, the hammer one does better than the lipstick one.
okay. The next one's is someone who's having a real crappy day.
Yeah, the girl with the lipstick. Oh, bad.
Oh.
Is that
Ow,
a
Somebody in a tie.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so I'll stop share.
Okay.
And again.
Thank you, Dennis. I like the way we start our shows these days.
Don't take things too seriously.
Honestly. So number 2, Mr. Matthew Fulton is starting a movement.
All right.
He started his post with Buzzkill.
Well, kind of. So it was in a Facebook group. I think it's the Entrepreneurial Accountant. Is that right? Ben's group. And people started talking about the idea of creating that they should all join together to create their own accounting software because they wanted to take back control. And there was a lot of people that were all jumping on the bandwagon, and the bandwagon was pretty full. But I wanted to just kind of sprinkle some reality into it at the same time, and decided I should share with the people that it takes a lot more than people think to try to actually create an application. It takes a lot of time, energy, and money. And one of the things I try to use as an analogy of when you're developing software and you're continuing to grow it, it's very much like if you take into consideration like a new freeway overpass. When you build a new app, an app and a new feature, you actually have to connect from one piece to the other. So the new overpass, you start to build that overpass, right? You get the whole thing built, and once you're done building that overpass, then you have to start to divert people off the old route they're so used to, off that old freeway, onto the overpass. So now you're taking them on a whole new journey until they can end up at the same old place, just so you can then go back in to start to remove that old freeway that's useless. And the only thing that really happens once it's all said and done is you hope all the people that forgot all of that bad freeway, that they remember how much better they have it now with the new features. But that's a lot of energy that goes into just making this little minor change.
So the lot of energy on your side and a lot of energy shifting lanes too. You
Yeah.
really got to get people to shift. And when they have a habit and they're used to doing something, even if they have problems or friction with it, they're going to continue to do what they're used to doing. Period. End of story. This is a problem we all have.
So that's a good point that actually draws attention to the idea. Think of when you were first transitioning people maybe from desktop to online and the complexity of it and how difficult, frustrating, not only for you, but your clients you're doing that with as well. I don't think people are taking into consideration, if you've got 40 clients, if they're on QBO, QBD, whatever it is, you're not asking your clients just to change platform, which is somewhat similar. Now you're saying, here's a whole new world. And the time and energy it's going to take all of that accounting information and move it to that new platform. Unless somebody out there has actually made a whole conversion tool that makes it like that, it's going to be time and energy that you're not going to get paid for most likely. So
they're going to compare it to the old application.
Always.
And the old application has had years of experience to get where they are today. You are starting at the very beginning.
That's right.
It is absolutely possible to, like, if people seriously were interested in combining forces and they really wanted to do something of this nature, I said, put together the group. I'll be more than happy to get you connected with some people that can help you do it. But realistically, you're talking $1 million investment, multi-year, to get your minimum viable product out there.
Multi-year is big too.
Multi-years. Yep.
And that $1 million is a beginning. That doesn't mean it's a lifetime deal, guys. You're still paying monthly once that thing is up. So just evaluate it from that perspective.
Yeah.
And there's nothing simple about accounting packages anymore.
No,
It's all
not at all.
complex and it's integrated and it has to sync and the platform has to be very, very secure. It's not easy.
It's pretty funny. We had a new client or a new prospect. We had a conversation with their IT guy today, and without talking about pricing at all, he said, I am not alone to believe that QuickBooks is the most hated accounting software on the planet, but it lacks any meaningful, cost-effective, and easy-to-use alternative. So, I mean, the sale was almost a done deal. Even though they hate the software, there's nothing else that really compares, and it's so popular. There's nothing really that has the functionality that QuickBooks has on the market for the cost that QuickBooks is, even though the price keeps going up.
Yep.
So,
Right.
And they know that.
yeah.
Exactly. And if they have problems with QuickBooks, a new program they're going to have problems with too.
Yeah.
One of the best ways that you can try to circumvent maybe some of the required updates are going to, user count is becoming an issue for people, right? That if you have too many users, you're having to go up to the next level. You can circumvent that if you're actually using a third-party application, and if most of the focus and energy is into that third-party app and people are using that, you don't need as many people actually logging into QuickBooks Online. And that's a true, fair, legit way to go about it. So maybe what we need to be doing is actually reaching out to our different app partners out there and saying, help us find ways we can keep our chart of accounts down, still push the vital information into QuickBooks that it's necessary, but we would rather pay you, third-party provider, to help us run most of our process through here, that everybody wins.
Now, I've thought about that. Linda Russell may remember this. She's an avid Woodard guy. So Joe had set up a company. They had like 400 people running off of a QuickBooks Pro through Method because it's to and from the cloud. So you're reading and writing data from the cloud into QuickBooks and out of QuickBooks.
With one user.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. There's you could do some kind of a hybrid solution that could do something like that, right?
Method will in fact do it. I mean, what it does, it creates a huge database on its own. So outside of QuickBooks, if you've got extra data that you need to capture, Method does it. I've wanted to go down that route for a long time. I just hadn't made it happen yet.
I wish I had jumped on the bandwagon with it. Can you add images in? Is it a database where you could actually add documents to something?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because I have a client that just stroked a check for 20 grand for Neon. I'm hearing good things about him, but I was shocked at the price tag. But,
Yeah.
Oh, Neon CRM.
great, but I would, I wouldn't know where to send them. So, and I'd have to learn it. So.
Well, this is another reason to have a niche and to know certain apps that work with certain things. I'm going to use old landscaping as one of them. One of my easiest clients uses something called ClickUp, or Clip. I'm sorry, it's called Clip.
Clip.
Not the ClickUp, the Clip. And that does everything as far as his employees are concerned, maintaining the time for the employees, scheduling the employees, scheduling the jobs, doing the accounts receivable. So on his QuickBooks side, all he's getting is income, and then he writes the checks out of QuickBooks. That works for him perfectly. He uses his Clip program all the time. I'm the one that's in QuickBooks.
Is his name Craig?
No. Or Larry.
Sorry.
There's land.
No, this is actually a real client of mine.
Yeah.
But
that actually is a perfect example of what we were talking about. I mean, there's so many different apps out there that do that stuff.
But they're industry specific.
right.
They're handling all your revenue and your timekeeping and all that, and you can stay in that industry specific software. And the general ledger is really just a bucket of a repository of all the information that'll produce reports.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly. Then he stays in his lane and I stay in my lane. I'm happy with my numbers. He's happy knowing everything he needs to about his business to run it and run it successfully.
There we
Gina,
go.
are you importing from Click into QuickBooks?
Actually, we ended up turning that off and
That's
just
easy.
downloading the deposits right from the bank statement.
Yeah.
One of the most important things to look at, of course, is when you're talking about doing this, is the way they integrate. Truly understanding what's coming in and how, because
Sometimes you don't want it.
yeah, some
Well,
of them
his was easy because he's a cash system. Cash and accrual are two totally different things. If you want to, you really want to sync if you want to carry the accounts receivable in QuickBooks.
absolutely.
So Linda Russell, you look like you're trying to talk and you're muted.
I was going to say, if you have your accounts receivable accurate and running very well in another program, there is absolutely no reason to have to repeat it in QuickBooks unless you want QuickBooks to give accrual reports.
Right.
You could even bring it in once a month, like I do with other clients.
Net change. Yeah, like a doctor's office too.
Yep.
Ran AR, and
Because you're using QuickBooks mainly to get financial reports throughout the year and to do taxes at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Other software is where you go to see, where is my accounts receivable? How much is outstanding and all that. Speeds everything up and it makes it more accurate. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so,
And so we're going to go into Sara, and you have some things you want to talk about.
yeah, I want to show you how I'm doing a art gallery that is a co-op. And a co-op is where all the artists are stockholders in the corporation. And the inventory belongs to each artist, not to the corporation. So it's sort of like consignment, maybe? So I wanted to get them onboarded, and I don't want to. They've been in business since the 70s. I didn't want to do any big changes, so we're slowly automating little pieces of it, and getting them used to They bought a computer.
Yay! That's a good
They got
start.
Wi-Fi. I mean, I'm telling you, we're moving. So, and they're so lovely. So I can't think of a way to have a point of sale. I've been looking at like consignment software, but the fact is somebody has to put the inventory in the system. You can't sell it unless it's there, right? In the database. Well, you'll have some of them who are very organized. They know exactly what inventory is in which gallery and all that. And they keep track of it when the inventory is coming and going. Then you have other artists, they've got a show tomorrow on Saturday, and they just come in, gather a whole bunch of, it's coming and going. Coming and go. So you really don't know what you're selling until they walk up to the register.
Right, but is it truly inventory?
No, it's not inventory in the sense.
So I want to say
owned.
that I'm just trying to unconfuse that situation with QuickBooks that has an inventory feature. You do not want to turn on inventory for that. Oh boy, would you create a mess with
No, because I was thinking I could turn on, I could have 31 artists and then freehand it or something.
But I would make them all non-inventory parts.
Yeah. So I was
Exactly.
thinking, when I look at point of sale systems, I can't think of any way around typing in what they're buying.
I'll tell you, I got an idea.
Yeah.
My area of expertise.
What if Brandy's doing this too? Okay.
When those people walk in last minute with what they're going to sell, you have address labels that have that artist's initials and the number.
Oh yeah. Well, they do use the labeling system
on the back.
Yeah, they've got the labeling system.
You sell it as a non-inventory part as that part.
Well, okay, that's fine. But they walk up, it's got a sticker on it. So they've got the artist number, the artist inventory number, the price, and a little description. Okay?
Perfect.
So what they're doing is, let me tell you what they're doing. All right, so since the 70s, and this system works beautifully, they have a 3-carbon book.
That's good.
And they write down date, and they write the information from the little sticker. They do the sales tax on a calculator. They handwrite it in. This is the interesting part. If there's usually somebody will just buy one piece, but say they buy 2 or 3 pieces and it's 3 artists. Write down the 3 artist names on the bottom of the ticket. Okay, so 1 copy stays in the book. 1 copy goes at the end of the day with the credit card settlement and tape totals, and where they test it, make sure everything's happy. And a copy of the deposit. They make a bank deposit every single day, whatever the checks and cash is at the end.
Yes.
That is dropped into a drop-off box on the way into the bank thing. Okay, works beautifully. It's always to the penny. So, all right. So here's what I did. Let me share.
Well, let me ask, while you're sharing, Brandon, you had an idea.
Yeah, I want to hear about Brandon.
So QuickBooks Point of Sale, it takes over inventory out of, if you're going to link it to QuickBooks.
Yeah.
But there is an app by Ability Business that does consignment that plugs into QuickBooks Point of Sale.
Yeah.
If they go to a show, if they're doing it, everybody could have access to GoPayment. So all the inventory can link up to GoPayment. So
No, it's always sold at the cash register.
Okay. So yeah, then QuickBooks Point of Sale would work with the consignment app. They can do ALC codes, alternative to lookup. You can create your own labels if they wanted to barcode it. If they don't want to, they just put in whatever code is on that label, and it will automatically grab the right print or whatever the art piece is. So
okay. So what I was envisioning was, there's a husband. Not all the artists are savvy enough to do this. We've got everything from 30 to 80s, okay? So say you have somebody who has 100 items and they're really savvy on this. I would love for them to be able to go someplace, not at the store, but like, my crazy idea was, what if I had some sort of an online database where I could offer it to the artists, and they say, keep your inventory in this master database and flag where your inventory is.
Yeah.
If it sees that it's in my store, it's available to sell. That's just a crazy idea that I had.
That's a good idea.
You know, because I thought, because these artists they have art in galleries all over the place. So I'm trying to figure out how to get my name out there and go, hey, and, you know, I want my gallery to go, we've got the coolest new accountant. She's doing the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Because they also work at these galleries. They all have to like pull their 4 or 8 hours a month or whatever.
Sara, you need to be on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the artists, I know about this stuff. Get on Instagram.
Just find out what other galleries are doing or something. Because
Well, there's a lot of artists on Instagram. That's
an artist.
I buy art on Instagram. I'm a collector as well.
that's cool.
And I know a lot of people, a lot of famous artists of our time that are probably going to go in history books. They're all on Instagram.
Well, but if you talk about accounting, okay, I've got to come up with a system that works. And then my bigger plan is, all right, if an artist goes to another gallery and goes, you know, I wish we had the same system that, you know, Sarah's gallery has. And then they go, oh, that's really, and the artists get together and go, we like it so much over here, let's put it in over, you know, that's my idea as far as getting a niche and growing. But it boils down to getting a database of the inventory. And, you know, I could have a manager who's in charge of the store, and the one person at the store is in charge of making sure they log what's being sold. They're not logging what's coming in and going out that's not sold.
So do you need all of the details on the invoice in QuickBooks? Or can you use a number?
No, I'm just doing one journal entry a month on QuickBooks.
Well,
I don't care about the accounting. I'm talking about the client selling. Like here, I'll tell you how I'm capturing it. I'll tell you what we're doing with the paper. Okay, so I said, leave the paper alone. Your system's beautiful. Let me put the information into a system so that I can work with it. Okay, so we did it on Smartsheets because now they have a computer. The manager can do this on a daily basis. And all right, so you've got the ticket of the sale. So it's date, the invoice number, and we can copy this down. That's quick. I've got the little drop down button of all the artists. And the reason I didn't use Google Sheets and I didn't use something else I was playing with, I want it to quick fill. I want them to start typing and find it.
Yeah.
Susie Q, maybe they know Susie Q, maybe they know 06. Okay. Smartsheets did that beautifully. Then the item number is the little inventory numbers on the, okay, so that was on the sticker. The description's on the sticker, the amount's on the sticker. Okay. So they're going to type this in, type this in, type this in, type this in. At the end of the day, we've got the day total, then we start subtotaling. Day total, sales tax. If the shipping that's on the ticket goes directly to the artist, that's something else they're doing. Over, under, deposit, a gift certificate, other, explain. And then it shows what's supposed to go to the bank. And then the credit card, the cash, the deposit. So it tests all my numbers at the end of every day. It calculates the sales tax. And if the sales tax does not work, I know they sold something out of state, and I go and I divide it back by 7%, and I find the sale without having to go through all the tickets. So then, because some of them are exempt from sales tax, and that creates my exempt for sales tax. And then it does a formula. You know what it is? We're collecting all this information in Smart Sheets, pulling it over, cut and pasting it in Excel, and then doing all this stuff.
Question.
We're doing 75% of the gallery, or no, 25% of the gallery, 75% to the artist, and then we test it. So,
Go, Matt.
So
Totally kind of a different route, but why not set up, especially if it's going to be people shipping stuff outward, why not set up a WooCommerce page to where all of the different artists actually have the responsibility of going in, adding their own items, just like it was an Etsy or something else.
yeah.
Through WooCommerce, you can do a connection to where you can export the data to QuickBooks Desktop or online. And now you actually have a live setup of what's actually available. If they put pictures, the pictures are there. So if you have somebody in California that wants to see something, it's on a web page. You can see it from that aspect, right? You could do basically all of that, and then WooCommerce you can have it set up where it's doing all of your merchant processing through a great guy named Brandon, and that would then make it to where you get your financial reporting. You don't have to do any of this type of stuff. And again, you get the artists to be the ones to put the details in.
That's the problem in a nutshell, I think, Matthew, is getting the artist to put the information in. Not all of them are that.
Not all of them are that savvy.
Well, that's where they pay Sara to teach them how to do it.
Or they pay the manager extra, like, I don't want to do the inventory. Now,
And that's exactly.
Have a WooCommerce, 30 of them?
No. It would be one, so the location, the consignment place, would have a WooCommerce. They would have a website that utilizes WooCommerce to list whatever's there.
Yeah.
And then you'd have like member profiles. It's like think of it like a mini Amazon, right? Where you have different sellers that could be on it. It would be the idea. And there's probably a software that would do this for you anyways. And I'm sure you could actually do something simple like a Google form that you could zap the information to the platform that you want to use it. So simplify it for the artist that they just have question, answer, load picture, done.
Okay. And then at the counter, we would go online and sell, when they walk up to the counter, you're actually selling it in WooCommerce?
So for sure you absolutely could do that, but I bet you with a little bit of research, we could find another way to have a sales portal that's more local. But yeah, I mean, worst case, you literally could just pull up have your website bookmarked. And
with WooCommerce, or we use not Shopify, we use BigCommerce.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a customer, they use QuickBooks point of sale, and they've got a website. So if they sell something out of the store,
Mm-hmm.
it automatically takes it off the website, so it keeps inventory control. It's WebGility. It's their ECC product. So it will, if you don't want to get the POS involved, it will work with QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Point of Sale. It keeps inventory synchronized between your desktop and your brick and mortar, or say your online store and your brick and mortar. So if they sold items out of the store, then it automatically takes it off the website. If they sell it on the website, it takes it out of inventory on the store. The key is the manager has got to keep up with that and take it. If somebody buys this print off the website, they're going to have to go take it out of the store so nobody buys it. So just to make sure that they can stick it in the back room or something like that until somebody can pick it up, or they ship it out. But yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of different clients that do that.
Well, here's what I was thinking. So we're going to do this method right now, okay? Because now we're not keying in all these 700 tickets. The manager's going to do it, okay? Now that she has a computer. And then since it's online, my bookkeeper can go in, get in Excel, test our totals. She can cut and paste direct all the deposits, you know? And then we've got journal entry. So we have a journal entry for the month. And then we actually saved a journal entry with 31 lines on it on the 75%. So she just takes her spreadsheet and keys. It doesn't take that long to key. So the accounting's working well. So then I said, okay, here's the clinker on this. They take the copies, and you have to do it on the floor because there's 30 of them. You start sorting the month's tickets into artist stacks. And if you get to one that has 3 artists on it, you have to go get 2 copies, cut it out, okay? Because what they're used to is my check, a copy of all the sales tickets, okay? And so what I've done is I'm doing, well, we're going to direct deposit, but we've done the check, all your tickets like you're used to, but then a report, okay? So with Excel, I could do the pivot tables and I could do a report for every single artist that I put with the check, with the payment. All right, now we're going to go to direct deposit, and I don't want all this paper going on. So the other thing I'm doing is I take before I sort it into the 30 stacks, I take the entire stack of 700 tickets and I run it through my little scan snap and I make one PDF. Okay.
Is this something that would work with Airtable?
Well, anything that's online, yeah. So then I take the PDF is searchable. So if say they have a report and it has a invoice, ticket number on it, any artist could pull up that PDF, find that ticket, boom, there's their ticket. So it's, I put it on share file. We talked about we could share the share file with all the artists, so we're doing all this. So we're gathering all these documents. But so then then one of the artists wanted to know, since it was now on the computer, could they go somewhere and see all their sales by month, by day, see?
They're asking you to create a program for that.
Well, no, what I'm thinking now, then I started thinking about Power BI. It's just data. Shouldn't I just be adding the next month's data? I mean, point of sale and all that will be down the road. But right now, I'm thinking about how do I take this simple list right here, date, invoice, artist, item, description, and amount, and what can I do with that? What can I build the client or the artist can go somewhere and get that? Or
Sarah, I put it in the chat, but how are you, what field is the artist in QuickBooks? Is it one field? Is it 2 fields?
QuickBooks, I'm not tracking anything. You mean in inventory?
No. Artist. Is the artist going to be a sales rep? Are they going to be a customer? Are they going to be a
They're a vendor.
Class?
They're a vendor.
A vendor. Okay.
They're a vendor because we owe them. Sometimes they owe us, but they get their percentage minus their monthly fee, and they get a check. If they didn't have any sales, they still owe the fee, and they actually run a check down to the store.
Okay. All right. You could add a class.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to get more. Matter of fact, I think I am using classes.
Class, you can filter by class.
Right. So what I'm looking for is how do I give access to this
To everyone.
to the artist, to the manager. I mean, Smartsheet's working beautifully, and I even thought I could do a form. So she wanted to know if there was a way to speed up her data entry. I think because when she hits enter, I think it was going down instead of across. I don't know. I need to dial in.
A Google form could do it that sends it to Excel.
Well, and Smartsheets does the same thing. I can do a form beautifully, but
You might ask them if they want access. I think you're trying to solve a problem that's not a problem.
Some of them want access, or the manager wants access. What if the manager's downtown? I have all this data. Where could I put it, and how could I collect it so that she could go and look things up or do reports and all that? And I'm thinking Excel, Power BI type stuff, and I don't know where to go to think about that, but
Ernest is like a superstar with Power BI, isn't he?
yeah, he's getting there. Yeah, I was going to talk about it because I was having EP here. So
I'm going to text him.
Okay, well, we're going to
anyway,
that for a while.
if anybody bumps into some really good consignment software, maybe.
We'll
Maybe.
let you know for sure.
Brandon said he had some.
Which
With
e-commerce?
QuickBooks point of sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my unique, non-profit.
I love it because this is the kind of stuff I love.
I love it. I've had so much fun.
Yeah.
Taking through stuff they've been doing for 100 years. And, hey, we can do it this way. I mean, you know, and then for us to start direct deposit, they're all just, I think we got, I think almost 2/3 agreed to direct deposit. I'm like,
Nice, nice. So things are moving, just not as quickly as you would like, I think.
well, I want to solve it all tomorrow and I can't.
Luckily, tomorrow never comes, so you're still on time.
But it's interesting, and I really, this whole idea of having, you know, if you're a member or something, blah, 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 that you could keep your inventory online, all your inventory online, and that it interfaces with the store, tells it when it was sold, and you either take it on and off or move it from store to store.
Well, I think that's the key is, yeah, the artists being able to do that themselves. I mean, it would definitely help them too.
Well, then I could put my front end or my software in all the galleries.
I think like Matthew said, you should be able to make that happen. I'm sure WooCommerce has got a plug-in. You can barely treat it as an affiliate.
Affiliate, there's a good word.
Yeah, that's a good point. Affiliate, like just a membership site, even like I'm doing something not even close to similar, but we're using for our local bookkeepers association. I'm setting up a new website to where it's also going to have a membership portal. The membership portal will be so the members of the association can go in, they can update their profile, they'll be able to access a forum to ask questions, so forth. And the whole purpose of it is to combine these things together through like WooCommerce. They'll be able to pay for events, and then ultimately the website will have a front facing to local businesses, because we want to try to provide a free resource that if you're looking for a bookkeeper or accountant in Ventura County, you can go to that website, see the different profiles by industry. And by using the portal concept, that should still tie in. You could do WooCommerce. They have membership portal pieces through Theme Forest. $65 is the main plugin, plus some other parts. Would not be too expensive. And then it's just creating and coding, like making it pretty.
Got it.
I just thought of something. If we have the inventory where it can be sold online, if it's physically in a store, they get a cut. So there's a difference between what the artist has in hand and what they have out in the different stores. So there's a location issue and a reporting issue by location, you know.
That you need now, right?
Because all the money would be collected by each store. It would update their database. Yeah.
You should call Jeff Bezos. Sounds like you're getting close to an Amazon creation with some of it.
Well, I mean, when I travel, I search out pottery, handcrafted, you know, I'm into these galleries all the time. And even our little gift shop downtown, Scents and Shamrocks, which is the all the Irish and, you know, stuff. They handwrite those little tickets. And, you know, in this day and age, it's like, why are we still handwriting sales tickets? So, but because the situations are so unique and the systems work. But
Again, yeah, we're back to systems that work, and we don't want to mess with what's working.
They were really freaked out for a while because another company had come in and they were going to do this and that and throw it out and point of sale system and all that stuff, and they were all. And then I walked in going, "It's okay.
Calm down. We'll work with you.
Baby steps, baby steps." I'm just so excited that they have got a computer.
Alrighty, well, we are, believe it or not, about out of time. Anything else anyone wants to talk about before we end for the day? No?
It just
Who's
feels
going to Scaling New Heights?
stressed. Going where?
Scaling New
Scaling New
Heights.
Heights.
Raise your hand. No?
I'll be on my first panel there. Yay!
Oh,
Ernest is on a panel too at 8 a.m. Tuesday
I
morning.
know. He says he can't go out the night before because, you know.
No, he said he can't dance all night.
There's a difference.
He tends to do, so.
I bet he still does.
Well, Matthew, wear your hat well and send lots of videos back. I know you will.
Yes. Oh, I like that one. That one.
We're all represented today. Some of us. I like that Shelly's got her shirt on and her puppy.
I know.
Oh, where's my puppy? Hey,
Alrighty, we're gonna end for today.
come here.
See you all same time, same place next
Have a
week.
nice weekend. Bye.
Great weekend.